our Cirque classes and just wanted to make a video. I know you probably can't do aerial silks at home, but I wanted to take you through a series of exercises that you can be working on at home until we get back into the gym. So I have my daughter Eva here, and she's gonna take us through some exercises that you can be working on at home. So we're gonna start with a warm-up. A couple ideas that you can do for a warm-up is a running in place with your knees up. So you can do that for about 10 to 15 seconds. Then you can do kick your bottom, run in place. And hopefully you have a soft surface at home that you can do some of this stuff on. And then another thing you can do is just regular old jumping jacks just to get your body warmed up. And another option would be a squat jump. Go down, touch the floor, and reach up to the sky. And that will help get your body warmed up. Okay, the next part of our warm-up is we're gonna be working on needle kicks. Okay, you're gonna put your hands down on the ground and lift your leg, one leg up in the air. You're gonna be working on keeping a nice straight line, pointing your toes, locking your knee out, and you're just gonna bring it down and up, down and up. And you wanna do 10 on one leg, and then you're gonna switch and do 10 on the other leg. Okay, what I really want you to think about is locking that knee out and pointing the toe. Okay, now we're going to get down on the ground. You're gonna put your elbows behind you, lay back on your elbows. You're gonna bend one leg and keep one leg straight. And we're gonna work on kicking our legs. This is gonna help working on your form when you do go up into the silks. So once again, we're working on pointing your toe and keeping your knee locked out. Then you're going to do about 10 on one leg, then you'll switch to the other side, and you're gonna do the other leg. And you wanna try to bring it all the way up as close to your nose as possible, and making sure you're keeping your form. Okay, now we're gonna switch back to the first leg, and you're going to go to the side, okay? And when you do this, what you wanna do is you wanna make sure that your knee is pointing backwards, your toe is pointed, and you're going back as far as you can and bringing it back to the center. Okay, you're gonna do 10 on that leg, and then you're gonna switch to the other leg and 10 on the other leg. And once again, we're really working on form so that when you climb up into the silks, you don't have to think about your form. Okay, now we're gonna work on Superwoman positioning or an arch up. So you're gonna lay down flat on your stomach, arms out in front, arms by your ears, and your big toes pointing in the back, touching each other or kissing each other, okay? And so the beginning exercise of this is just arch up, both arms and legs, and down. Up and down. And you can do anywhere from 10 to 20 of these, okay? And the more advanced version would be opposite arm, opposite leg lifts, and down. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and then both of them together. And then you go through that whole series again. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg, together. Let's do one more. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and together. And once again, you can do 10 to 20 of these depending on how you feel. And it's very important to work the back muscles to balance out the ab muscles that you use when you're climbing for silks. Okay, getting into stretching and splits, which is very, very important, your flexibility when you're working on aerial silks. So we're gonna start out with a lunge stretch. Okay, and what you wanna make sure that your shoulders are up, okay, that your foot is far enough out that your knee is not passing your ankle bone, and you're lunging, and what you're actually stretching is your hip flexor. Okay, so that's where you should be feeling the stretch, is right here in your hips. Okay, and when you're stretching, you want to probably hold this 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, and then you're going to shift into stretching over your front leg. Okay, one hand on each side of your leg, and you want to make sure that your knee is straight. You're squeezing this muscle here, and you also want to make sure that your hips are square and your back leg is pointing straight back. Okay, also you're going to hold that for 20 to 30 seconds, and then you're going to slide out into your splits. Okay, and splits you can hold anywhere from 30 seconds on up to a minute or two. depending on how much you want to work on your flexibility, but definitely going to help you out a lot. So you're going to hold that, and then you're going to switch legs. So let's go ahead and switch legs, and you're going to lunge on your other side. Okay, shoulders up, hips square. Make sure your foot is far enough out in front so your knee is not passing your ankle. Okay, hold that, and then you're going to go back to stretch over your front leg, one hand on either side, making sure your hips are square, your knee is straight. Okay, hold that, and then you're going to slide out into that split. Okay, so what I want you to work on next is transitioning from your split into your middle split or your straddle split. Go ahead and make that transition into a straddle, okay? And then go ahead and transition back into the split. Okay, this is something you can do multiple times. I like to work this with my Cirque students because there's a lot of skills that you transition from a split into a straddle when you're up in the air. And so it's good to be able to have that feeling of switching from one to the other. Okay, for more advanced stretching, if you already have flat splits, what you can do is work on over splits. So you can get a yoga block, you can get a pillow, a book, anything that you can put underneath your front leg, and you can work on your over splits. So you can hold those for a minute or two to help really work your flexibility, and then you can switch legs. And you can also do over splits in your middle split. So go ahead and show us the over split, and you can either put one block on one end and one block on the other leg, or you can do one leg at a time depending on how flat you are on your middle splits. Another additional stretch that you can do in the splits to stretch your quads and your hip flexors is you can go up against a couch or stairs or something that you can put your back leg up on, and then you can slide out into a split from there, and that will help work the flexibility in your back leg. Now we're going to get into working our back flexibility. So we're going to work on bridges, and the first thing that you're going to do is bridge up, and what I want you to work on is rocking back and forth. That way you're pushing through your shoulders and then back. Okay, and if you can put your feet together and practice doing it with your feet together. So you can do up to 10 of those, okay? And then you can come down, tuck and roll, kind of stretch your back out the other direction. And then the next thing we're going to work on is bridging up, and we're going to lift one leg up. For intermediate, beginner and intermediate, you're going to just bring your knee up, point your toe to your knee. Okay, make it look pretty. And then for more advanced, you can take your leg straight up in the air, squeeze your knee and point your toe, and try to hold that in the air for 10 seconds. And then go ahead and you can switch legs. Try that, switching legs. Okay, one leg is going to be a little bit easier than the other leg, but it's always good to work both legs. Go ahead and come down and tuck and roll again. Kind of stretch your back out. And this time we're going to do what we call a tic-tac. So you're going to do a bridge kick over and then come back, okay? And you want to work on your form when you do it. And go ahead and do a kick over. And as you're kicking over, you want to hit this position. Handstand with a nice split on the top, legs straight, pointed toes, and then you touch down and kick back over, okay? And you can work on doing that multiple times if you can do that kick over. We're going to work a little bit more on back flexibility. We're going to start out with a seal stretch, would be more of a beginner back stretch. Okay, so your hands are down and your feet are behind you. You're kind of pushing up and trying to get your hips on the ground. Okay, if you can do that, then go ahead and you're going to lift your toes up and arch your head backwards and try to get your toes to touch your head, okay? And you can work on that, holding that position, going in and out of that position. And then for more advanced, you can work on a shoulder stand. So either you want to go ahead and show us a shoulder stand or a chest stand. Here, you can do knees together, you can do legs straight up in the air, and then roll back down. Okay, now we're gonna go into a series of moves that we do in the silks, but we're gonna do them on the floor. So if you take the silks class, you'll recognize these moves. So we're gonna start in a straight body position, okay? And then we're gonna go into a tuck. Imagine that you are hanging in a slip knot, and then you're gonna go to a straddle, the upside down straddle that we do on the slip knot. And you're gonna hook one leg, hook the leg, and straighten the leg down. And for more advanced, you can take that hook leg and you can bring it back into a split. Okay, you can try that on both sides. The next series is going to be starting in straight body position again. Okay, you're gonna bring your knees into a tuck, pretending like you're in that upside down straddle. Go to the straddle position. Okay, and then you're gonna hook one leg and you're going to go into the scorpion. So you're gonna bring that back leg around and try to bring it around to your head, arch your head back, arch your body and try to bring your head to your foot. And then you're gonna go back to the tuck and back to straight body, hollow body position. I picked a little fun exercise for you to do. What you just need is to bring two chairs together. And what you wanna do is you wanna place them about shoulder width apart. And I chose this one because it gets you up and off of the ground, and you'll be lifting your legs up using your core stomach muscles, the same type of muscles that we use when we're doing aerial silk. So first thing we're gonna do is a tuck hold. So you're just gonna press down on the chair, keeping your arms straight, knees together, ankles together, and toes together. And practice holding that. Let's see how long you can hold it. All right, and a little bit more advanced one would be a pike hold. So if you can hold that one pretty easy, then you can go on to pike holds. So you're gonna go up into a pike hold, and your legs are gonna go straight out in front of you. Try to bring your big toes together, knees together, and hold that one. That one's a pretty hard one, okay? And one other one that you can do is a straddle hold. So you're gonna kind of straddle a corner of the chair. You're gonna put both hands in between your legs, and you're gonna lift up into a straddle and see if you can hold that one up in the air, okay? If you can do that 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds would be absolutely amazing. But go ahead and try that at home for fun. We'd love to see you post your videos. Okay, we're gonna do some conditioning that you can do pretty much every day to help get you in shape so that when you come back into the gym, you'll be nice and strong. So these are conditioning that we work on in class. At the end of our class, we do this a lot. So you're gonna go into a straight body lying position with your arms up over your head. Okay, and you're going to do a V up. So you're gonna bring your toes and your hands up together at the top, lifting the body and the legs at the same time, up and back down, up and back down, up and back down. And the next thing is a straddle up. So kind of similar, but you're gonna start with your arms up, and then you're gonna bring your arms through your straddled legs, up and bring your arms through, and bring your arms through. So when you're doing this one, you wanna make sure that you're working on your form. You're working on your straight legs and pointed toes.